Welcome to another episode of Pure Bliss and Balance, a place to help you and your family have your most resilient and happy life. I'm your host, Jennifer, and for this video, we are continuing our Urban Plant and Nature Connection series. For this video, we're going to focus on the common plant known as the red clover, which is found all around the world. That said, let's learn a little bit more about this incredible plant in our lives and how we can benefit from its amazing healing properties. The red clover is scientifically known as the Trifolium pratense. It is a very common plant that you can find in your local parks, your backyards, and in areas where there has been a lot of farming because it's a plant that has been used for centuries for the purposes of not only supporting humans, but also the animals in our lives. In fact, the red clover has been grown as a food source along as for medicinal uses for over 1,000 years. And as far as its origins are concerned, we can track it back to Europe, Northwest Africa, and Western Asia. As mentioned earlier, it is now found in so many parts of the world that it is often seen as a common weed in our local environment. A note of personal interest: when I was a child and we lived on a farm here in Northern Ontario, Canada, we had bees, and the red clover was well liked by the bees, and the honey itself was an incredible delicacy, which is yet again a great example of this plant's role in our ecosystem and in our lives. Now, let's look at what the red clover looks like when we are identifying it. The red clover grows close to the ground with other wild plants and can grow up to 3 feet in height and also grow as far as 3 centimeters across. It is what some call a trefoil leaf with 3 green leaflets bearing a white V-shaped marking. It's interesting to note that when you look at the flower head itself, you're also actually looking at multiple flowers all in one cluster, which is remarkable. These tiny little flowers are tubular in shape and they can spread upwards in every direction, which is part of their beautiful aesthetic appearance. They can often have a long blooming season, in fact, from late spring, and depending on where you are in the world and how the weather tends to be, you can also find them blooming all the way up to October. Now, let's talk about the amazing therapeutic and medicinal benefits that the red clover has supported humans with throughout the centuries. It's been noted that over 125 chemical compounds and properties have been identified in the red clover flower itself. Examples of these include phytoestrogens, chlorophyll, tannins, proteins, and even flavonoids, along with other benefits such as plant-rich sources of vitamins, including vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin K, as well as significant levels of various minerals, just to name some additional examples. There are so many benefits to this incredible plant. A historical fun fact to further substantiate this is that the red clover was originally dubbed the herb of Hippocrates, as it was an important ingredient in medicine and applications that Hippocrates used. There's a lot more depth to the history of the connection with humans and the red clover, but I wanted to skim to modern day discoveries and how this plant is helping with various health elements. According to some research found, there is a biopharmaceutical company in Australia that has found that there are the potential for anti-cancer agents found in the red clover to actually destroy breast and bowel cancer cells and even leukemia. With all that said, this is an incredible plant and it offers many benefits for overall health and well-being. However, there is a disclaimer. Some doctors do say, because of the strong therapeutic properties of the phytoestrogens, they do recommend that if anyone has hormone-related cancers, that they should proceed with caution and avoid this particular plant when they are looking for alternative drugs and therapies, and not mix them together with the current drugs that they're on without the proper supervision of professional oncologists. If you're healthy, however, and you wish to reap the benefits of red clover and all the health benefits that it provides, we are now going to provide you with a wonderful tip in terms of how you can access the health benefits through an infused tea. First off, because we're dealing with an urban plant and red clover is often found in environments that may have been exposed to pesticides locally or even in nearby environments, You want to be sure that you're collecting red clover that hasn't been contaminated through the soil or through the air. With that in mind, please pick an environment where you find red clover to be uncontaminated and free of toxins. Unfortunately, when we collect urban plants, we are at risk for collecting contaminants that can be found through carbon emissions, as well as soil contaminants such as fertilizers and so on. Please find a safe environment to collect your beautiful red clover for optimal health results. Once you find that location, you want to collect about the equivalent of 2 cups of fresh flower heads. And once you've done that, please ensure that you also collect ones that are not browned for best therapeutic benefits and optimal success. At this point, you also want to inspect the flower heads for insects and bugs. As we've mentioned before, they are well loved by not only humans, but animals and insects. Now that you've done that, give the flower heads a good rinse under clean distilled water and allow them to dry. Once done, you can then proceed to boil water in a tea kettle and remove it from the heat once it's come to boil. Allow the clover blossoms to be placed in the hot water and you can steep it for approximately 10 minutes. If you wish to get creative, you can add elements of additional herbs such as mint or basil. This will add to the flavor, but also add to the therapeutic benefits of your tea as well. You can also add natural sweeteners such as brown sugar or maple syrup to add to taste. Another way to enjoy red clover all year round is to dry the remaining red clover flower heads so that you can place them once dry in a Ziploc bag and access them whenever you wish to have a delightful infused red clover tea throughout the year. One more tip that we like to add, you can also use the brewed tea as an iced tea as well during warm seasons, which will add to a refreshing beverage to further enjoy during the summertime. This will be a very tasty beverage to enhance your day and help you enjoy summer at its best. So there you have it, some great tips and tricks about another great urban plant that is common throughout the world and that might even be found in your own backyard and local community. Thank you for joining us again today. If you liked our video, please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe. We would love to hear from you and have you continue along the adventures with us, learning to appreciate our natural environment and learning to live our best life. We look forward to seeing you again real soon. Until then, be well.